everyone, I'm Aishwarya and welcome back to my channel. In my last video, I talked about time travel. So in today's video, I thought of traveling to a different time zone. I've also said that we cannot go back in time and change anything of our past, but we can definitely go down the memory lane and cherish our best memories. So today, I'm going to take you on a virtual ride to one of my favorite cities in the world. Are you ready? I think this is the best and the safest thing to do during this lockdown phase. To over more than 12 countries so far, I realized that the Czech Republic is one of the most underrated countries of Europe. Did you know that the Czech Republic has the highest standard of living of any former Soviet bloc country? And there are 200 castles in the Czech Republic, which makes it the most castle-rich country in Europe. Well, you know now, this Slavic nation is a hidden jewel in the heart of Europe. 5 years ago, I went to Prague to do a certification in teaching English as a foreign language, formerly known as TEFL. Before I go ahead, let me tell you, I'm an English trainer and I love to travel and teach. Prague was the first city where I got to teach English to foreigners, and it was a really enriching experience. I wanted international exposure, which would broaden my horizons, and I'm glad I chose Prague. It was my first solo international travel and I was quite excited about it. So when I first landed at the Václav Havel airport, a girl from my school volunteered to pick me up. We drove from the airport to the TEFL house where I was going to be staying for the next 5 weeks. The journey from the airport to the TEFL house was breathtaking. The picturesque landscape magnified the beauty of Prague and I was just so happy to be there. The TEFL house was a huge bungalow with plenty of rooms, a well-equipped kitchen, a big dining area and a patio. I was lucky to get the best room in the house. My room was very spacious and airy. It had a fireplace too. Soon I got to meet the other TEFL members and that's when I met Kimberly Joseph, aka Kim, who turned out to be one of my closest friends, and we had a ball together. On the first day of my arrival, I was ready to explore Prague. I went to the Old Town Square for dinner with Mark, another friend who I'd met at the house, and the vibe of the whole square was really cool. The place was bustling with a huge number of tourists and locals. The astronomical clock is the absolute highlight of the Old Town Square, and this was my first picture from that evening. I think I've changed quite a bit. Well, during the weekdays, we had a hectic schedule because TEFL is an intensive program. But our adrenaline was so high that even after very long days, Kim and I would still go out to explore the city. One night after dinner, Kim and I decided to go for a short walk. But as we walked further, we realized that we have reached the Old Town Square. It was about 9 p.m. and the streets were full of people. As we walked further, we realized that we were on Charles Bridge. Charles Bridge is another great attraction of Prague. It is the oldest still standing stone bridge that crosses the Vltava River. When we walked across the bridge, we found artistic Gothic towers at both the ends of the bridge and many statues of saints embellished the bridge along its length. Bollywood has captured this bridge in some of its movies. I remember seeing this bridge for the first time in the movie Rockstar, and when I was there, I couldn't believe I was standing on the same bridge. It was a dream come true. I was doing my TEFL from the Caledonian School in Carlin, which was situated in the heart of the city, and it would take around 20 minutes for us to reach the school. We would first take the bus from Andal and then a tram, which would finally take us to our school in Carlin. Prague has one of the best public transportation systems in Europe. The metro, trams and buses cover the majority of the city and outskirts. Many of the metro stations have graffiti on their walls, which look quite hip. I always enjoyed getting clicked against them. The buildings in Prague are of a constant visual delight, and I'm not talking about those monuments that you would see on your tour. I'm talking about a bank. Yes, these pictures are of a bank, and I was completely shocked when I first went there. Kim had an account in this bank, and I was just there to accompany her. But when I got into this monumental building, I was awestruck because the look of this bank was completely unexpected. Hotel U Prince is another such example, which is a uniquely renovated 12th century building located right in the Old Town Square across the astronomical clock. Kim took me to its rooftop restaurant, which offers panoramic views of Old Town overlooking the square with Our Lady of Tin Church and the astronomical clock. The foods and drinks served here are also amazing. My sister used to work in Germany at that time, and she came to visit me during my fourth week in Prague. Kim and I took her to the lovely U Prince rooftop restaurant, and she absolutely loved that place. Later, we went to Wenceslas Square, which is a long boulevard that connects Old Town and New Town and is bordered by the stunning National Museum. It's a vibrant area of Prague, perfect for shopping, entertainment, and nightlife. Next day, the three of us went to the Jewish Quarter, which used to be the largest Jewish ghetto in Europe, and its old Jewish cemetery is the most remarkable of its kind on the continent. The Jewish Quarter should be visited not only as a reminder of the tragic world history, but also for its undeniable beauty and charm. And then we went to the Petrin Lookout Tower. Conceived as the mini version of Eiffel Tower in Paris, the Petrin Lookout Tower is one of the most prominent landmarks of Prague. The view from the top of the steel framework tower overlooks not only the whole city, but on a clear day you can nearly see all of Bohemia. To reach the lookout tower, we took the funicular railway. The following day, we wandered in the old town of Prague. As we were pub crawling, we saw the Absintherie, a cool bar decorated in the ultimate Bohemian style. It had a great selection of real absinthe, which was properly served following the Bohemian traditions. For those who don't know, absinthe is a high alcohol content spirit, also known as the Green Fairy, and is quite popular among the tourists. There are plenty of bars around the area, including hookah or shisha bars. No trip to Prague is complete without a visit to the famous Prague Castle. So towards the end of my trip, we decided to visit the Prague Castle, which is the largest ancient castle complex in the world. With spires of St. Vitus Cathedral, it dominates the skyline of Prague. This castle is made up of historical palaces, offices and fortification buildings, gardens and picturesque spots. We walked around the courtyards and also went inside some of the palatial buildings. But because of its enormous size, one day wasn't enough to see the whole of castle complex. The panoramic view of the Prague Castle is one of the most spectacular in the world. After we finished our tour to the Prague Castle, we stepped into the Golden Lane. It is a small street just behind Prague Castle and has charming rows of little houses painted in bright colors. There are many souvenir and bookshops on the lower floors. On the last day of our trip, we decided to paddle a boat and spend the afternoon boating in the Vltava River. So we went to a jetty and took a boat. The weather was quite pleasant, the sun was shining brightly and there were ducks waddling in the water. It was a perfect afternoon spent in the middle of the Vltava River, boating and feeling the calmness of the water. So we've reached the end of my video. Looking at my pictures, you must have noticed some difference. I was around 15 kgs heavier, but that's a story for another time. Right now I'm thinking about Prague. I fell in love with Prague 5 years ago the moment I landed there, and those 5 weeks just flew by. Through this video I've tried to show you a glimpse of one of my favorite cities in the world, Prague, and I hope you liked it. If you liked it, subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos. I'll see you soon again. Till then, bye bye.